Hello everyone. See a few people jumping on. Hi everybody. Good to see you. Hi Christine. Hi Lois. Good to see you all. Hope you're all well. Hi Kristen. Hi Louisa. Good to see you guys. So I hopped on just a little bit early today. I've got another meeting right after this, so I thought I'm going to get started right away. And it's going to be a little bit shorter today, hopefully. I know I always say that and it never is, but anyway, we'll see. So yes, busy day. I went and had coffee with a friend this morning and I rushed home, got everything ready, rushed home. And it's a friend that I haven't seen for a long time and she's got a new house. So I went over and saw that, so that was fun. And I just got back and said to my husband, can't stop, got to go do my Facebook Live. So anyway, so thank you for joining me today. Hope you're all doing well. If you're watching the replay later, thank you so much too. Hi Denise, good to see you all. I'm going to go straight down to my... So just a quick reminder that this new catalogue is only around for a few more weeks. And in fact, it's a hard time to plan doing Facebook Lives this time of year because I had a totally different project plan for today. But when I looked, some of the products I was using had already sold out. So I had to do a quick switch at the last minute because a lot of things... you may have seen my catalogue walkthrough a few weeks ago, but you can see I've got stuff marked up in here that's discounted or you know, retiring. And so it's hard to plan to do stuff because stuff is disappearing. So yeah, we just have a few more weeks of this. And don't forget, if you haven't checked out the clearance rack, there's some amazing deals on there, like pages and pages of stuff. So let me show you the projects we're going to make today. I have these two cute gift card holders. Now this design I actually saw from another lady. I want to give her credit. Her name is Bethany Barnard, and her YouTube channel is, I think it's Stamping in the Barnyard, which is really cute. Stamping in the Barnyard, Bethany Barnard. And she used a different stamp set. Let's see, what does Lois say? We had our ladies stamping group Christmas luncheon this morning. How fun. That sounds fun. Yeah, I'm having a Christmas party next week for my local ladies, and then we'll have our team meeting the following one. So yeah, it's a busy time. So this is a gift card holder, and it works. This one works like this. It just opens, and there's the gift card. And then this one is the same, but you need to cut your cardstock the different direction. So I'll go over that again in a minute, but I'm going to stamp this one, and then if there's time I'll stamp this one too, and I'll show you how they go. I'll show you the two stamp sets. This one is using Snowman Magic, and then the other one is using Trees for Sale. So let's get started with Snowman Magic. And I pulled out a couple of kits because this is one of the projects that we made in our class this last weekend. So I've got two different... I'm going to go with this just because it's so different. I'm going to go with this Night of Navy, and we'll see how it looks. So this is the kit that everybody got. And this is the designer series paper is the Gnomes paper, and I'm hoping that's still available. I didn't have time to go check, but I know the stamp set is still available, and the dies actually that go with this are 30% off. They're $19, I think. So it'd be a good time to get those. So here's all my pieces. Let's start on the stamping. So I'm going to put these pieces to one side and grab my stamps. I've got my stamps all ready to go here. And I need some inks. I need my black memento. And I need soft suede. And what else do I need? Oh, I need a blue. I didn't get my blue. Let me grab that. I'm going to get balmy blue. Balmy blue. To do my little hills. So, and I'm going to use my stamping grid paper here. So let's do this. Now, there's two white pieces, and I'll tell you, I'll put the measurements of these later, but this is 2.5 by 4, I believe. Yes, 2.5 by 4 and 2.25 by 4 here. So that's going to go that direction actually for when I do the stamping. So, you know, we need the wider one. And the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to punch my corners. Do you see the pattern for the corners here? So I'm using this punch. It's called the Best Trio Punch. I don't know if you can see, you've got 3 different, there's a good angle. You've got 3 different punches you can do. You can do a corner, cutting off the corner. You can do this decorative corner, which I'm going to use, and then you can do a slit for like ribbon. So what you need to do though, when you're doing this, put this to one side just a moment, is I'm going to put my cardstock in like this, and then the tendency is to want to push here, but actually what you're going to do, you're going to push in the middle. I like to use kind of the palm of my hand here and punch. So we're going to punch the first one, and then what you need to do is flip over so that you get the same design. Otherwise you end up with it being a different because it's like a mirror. You want it mirrored instead of side by side. Then I'm going to do the same on the bottom and flip it over. And then while I've got my punch out, I'm going to do my other blue piece. That way I can see where I need to stamp. So I'm going to do exactly the same. Flip it over, and then flip it over. There we go. Now I can get rid of these cute little pieces. All right. So now I can do my stamping. That way I know I'm not going to go over the edge. So I'm going to start out with the sentiment. That's going to say, sending wishes for a cool Christmas. La 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 la. That's right here. Let's make sure I've got it up the right way. So that's just going to go in the bottom, and it just fits in nicely because the bottom line is a little bit smaller. So it's very slightly crooked, but I think it's fine. And then I'm also going to do the inside sentiment, which is going to say, filled with warm and wonderful memories. I'm going to do that towards the top so I can still write underneath. That's that. So I can put that piece to one side. Now I need to do my little, let's see, what shall I do first? Let's do the trees. I'm going to leave my black open because I will need that again. So I'm going to do the trees in soft suede. And this is another of those kind of scene builder stamps that you can do lots with. And I'll show you some of the other little snowman stamps that there are. You can make all kinds of different snowmen. So I'm going to do my trees about kind of like that. And that's all I need the brown for, I think. And then I'm going to grab my blue. So there's 2 little slopes in the stamp set. There's this one, and this is designed actually to go with the trees because it fits. You see how this tree is higher, so it fits right underneath. So I'm going to grab that. You could do this gift card holder design though with any stamp you like. See how that fits just perfectly. Then I'm going to do the other. Actually, let me do my snowman next. You have to kind of figure out what order I want to do things. So I'm going to do my snowman in black. And so the snowman, all the little pieces and parts are separate stamps, so you can really customize your snowman. So let's do him kind of like this. And then I can put that other snowbank underneath. I'm just going to do this one about like that. Oops, I went over. I'm trying to do it. I would be better standing up, but that's okay. Now, we need to do, so let me show you that again. There's two different kinds of hats, actually three. So you can make, we're going to do the top hat. But there's a woolly hat and a woolly scarf. There's sunglasses. There's the lady's hat, and there's even a necklace, and then the bow tie and buttons. And then you have to check that you're using the right face, because there's one going to the left and one going to the right. So this snowman, I want him going to the left. So let's do let's do the bow tie. Like that. So cute. And then let's see, I need, that's his little face. Here's the buttons. And they're kind of curved. I'm not sure which way they're supposed to go, but we're just going to do them like that. And then here's his little nose and his eyes. And there are stick arms, but I'm not going to do those. And then the hat and the bunny I'm going to do on a separate little piece of paper. So I had a little scrap somewhere. Let's see, where's my little scraps of paper? Oh, here we go. So let's do the hat and the bunny. There's the hat. And then the bunny rabbit. And let's see, I think that's it. So let's put my ink pads away. Now let's do, thank you, Karen. Hi Karen, at the car dealership, having my car serviced. Well, thank you for tuning in. Oh, tuning in, haha. No pun intended. All right. Let's see, I'm going to colour the snowman's nose. So I've got some Stampin' blends. So I'm going to colour his little carrot nose. This is Pumpkin Pie Dark. And then I'm going to do the little band on his hat. Red. I guess I could zoom in just a little. Let's see, whoops. That's better. You can see what I'm doing. And then on the bunny rabbit, all I did was I took a Flirty Flamingo Light and coloured in that little ear, the inside bit pink. It's kind of a pretty corally pink. And then I took Smoky Slate Light and just kind of did a little bit of shading. Kind of where I thought there would be shading. And then what I did is I took the, that's probably a bit hard to see, I'll hold it up in a minute. And then I took my colour lifter, which is just, I'm not quite sure, it's just like some kind of alcohol blend in here maybe that just will smooth things out. And then I just went over with that, and it just makes it so that it's not, you don't have the harsh lines. It just kind of smooths it out. And it doesn't, with the, you want to make sure that you're using the Memento black ink when you're stamping, so that, or an ink that won't react with the blend, with the alcohol markers, and that way it won't smudge. So I don't know if you can see, it just kind of gives it a little touch of grey. It just kind of smooths it out. All right, so I'm done with all my stamping. I can put those away. So this is a very quick card to make, and you can use any stamp set that you have really to make your little scene. And because it's just a little piece of white cardstock, it doesn't, you know, you don't need to do too terribly much. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside, and I'm going to die cut my little hat. And the snowman's hat, I would probably, if I didn't have the rabbit, I would probably just cut that by hand. But there are dies, and I'm going to die cut the rabbit, so I might as well just do 2 at once. So you get all these dies, and there's this lovely kind of snowflake border die that actually would have looked, it may have been a little bit big for this, but if it was a bit smaller, that would have looked really pretty. So here's the bunny, and there's the hat. And you've got trees, and you can die cut the snowman. You can even die cut his little stick arms, his bow tie, you know, but I wanted to keep it fairly simple. Let's see, what is that? Not sure what that is. Anyway, there's even the bird. Yeah, there's lots of things you can die cut. So let me grab my mini machine. And we will, oh, grab my plates quickly. See. So I've got my little rabbit. Which way does he go? Like that. And my hat. If I can do this without them moving. There we go. There's my hat. And my little bunny. Oops. So cute. Okay, put my dies away. So these dies, as I mentioned, are 30% off. I think they're $19.60 or something like that. So if you already have the stamp set, now is definitely the time to get the dies. And if you don't have the stamp set, and you're interested in the dies, it's cheaper now to get the stamp set separately and then the dies separately. As you know how normally they're bundled and you get 10% off, but because the dies are 30%, it's going to be a little bit of washi tape on there. Yeah, cheaper to get them separately. All right, so let's bring my pieces back in. I'll assemble this. And the assembly is pretty easy because I've got everything all ready to go. So this designer series paper is the Gnomes designer series paper, and let me see if it's on sale. I'll find it real quick. And I didn't check ahead to see if it was still available. So let's see, where's the Gnomes? Gnomes, Storybook Gnomes, 42, 43. Okay, so the paper is not on sale, so it's probably still available. But the gems, I'm going to use these gems here, and those are on sale. They're 60% off. They're $3. That's a good deal. But this is also the Gnome Designer Series paper, so it's has the back side of all the papers. So the front has a lot of the gnomes and the toadstools and things like that. But the back side is all these lovely snowflakes and trees and things. So this is Night of Navy. Don't need the envelope. So you're going to have 2 pieces that are, let's see, measure these. These are 2.5 by 4. These 2 pieces are 2.5 by 4, and then this piece is a little bit bigger. That's 3 by 4. So this piece is going to go here above the white, your white piece, so that you don't see the gap when it's closed. So let's put those pieces in. And I forgot to refill my, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus because I forgot to refill my, well, let's make sure I want to do this way, because I could do it the other way. Let's see, what do we like best? Or, so many options. I can have this. Oh my goodness, what am I going to do here? I could do it like this, with this inside. Or I can do this. Where's my stamped piece? Let's see what we like. Decisions. I can't do, I could do that like that. And this like this. No, because the snowflakes feel like they should be, yeah, let's do this. Snowflakes feel like they should be at the top. So this is, put this in. Oops, this is my Stampin' Seal Plus, so I gotta make sure I get it right the first time because I'm not gonna get a second chance. It's a bit crooked. Never mind. This is very strong adhesive. See, I did that a bit wonky. Never mind. That one's too far off to the left. Never mind. It's okay. Oh, and I put that in the wrong place. That should have been over here. Oh, no, that's right. Don't mind me. All right, so I think I'll have this one here. Too many decisions to make. So what are you all up to today? Are you doing Christmas anything? Christmas shopping, Christmas decorating, Christmas crafts, or something non-Christmas related? So this one we're going to put right here, like that, which is also a little off. This card's just, that's okay. And then we'll stick this onto, Louisa says she's working on Christmas cards. Yes, that's kind of an ongoing process for me. I do not have mine finished or mailed yet, but hopefully in the next couple of days. So this should line up nicely, which it does. Now, the tricky thing when you're doing this is we've got to make sure that we've, oh, I like that, how that looks. That's pretty, isn't it? We need to make sure that we don't put too much adhesive on the back here, that the gift card will still fit in. And it is kind of a snug fit. So I'm going to use liquid glue here. And I'm going to put a very thin bead. So make sure I know which is the bottom. Yeah. So I'm going to put a very thin bead just on the bottom half and really, really close to the edge. Just like this. And you don't need very much. This liquid glue is super strong. So you don't need very much at all. That will be fine. And then I can attach this kind of centered up and down and top to bottom. Now, if you don't have this punch, you could just leave them, you know, square, the corners. Or if you have a different punch, or maybe a die, you could cut out the pieces with a die, like a rectangle stitch die or some other pretty labeled die. So if you don't have the punch, you could, you know, find something else in your stash that will work. So let's make sure this will fit in. Yeah. And it is a bit of a snug fit, but that's good because you don't want it falling out. I did try putting on this with dimensionals so that the gift card holder went in easy, but it fell out too easily. It wasn't snug enough. All right, so now we need to put on his, I can leave that in there, I guess. We need to put on his hat, and I need to add the little bunny. Let's not forget about those. So I think we'll put those on with some mini dimensionals. That'll be cute. bunny. And then we just need some gems and I'll kind of go over how to do the card base too, because I didn't really do that. So let me see, where did I put bunny? Right here, like that. Thank you, Lois. Yeah, so Snowman Magic is the name of the all right, and then the gems. Now these don't quite go so well with the navy as they do with this color scheme, but I think these blue, let's see. So these are called the Fine Sparkle Adhesive Backed Gems, and these are the ones that I was just showing in your catalogue. These are on sale for $3, and I did not check beforehand to see if they're available, so I apologize if they're not. So let's see, I think these blue ones will go fine. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, so like I say, this was not my original design, or the original design was by Bethany Barnard of Stampin' in the Barnyard, but she used a different she used the Window Wishes stamp set, so I think that's really cute, isn't it? So this is basically a gatefold card. So you're going to, when you cut your cardstock, you're going to take one piece of cardstock and cut it across. So this is 8.5 by 5.5, and then you'll just cut a quarter section out. So you would measure down 2 3/4 and then cut that piece out, and then that piece of course becomes this piece right here. Now on the other one, let me show you the other one, and I want to point out a couple of things. So this one you need to cut differently. You need to cut your cardstock lengthwise. So this is going to be 4 1/4 by 11, the length of your piece of cardstock, and then you'll cut off the end section. So again, you're measuring 2 3/4 inches from the end and cut. And you do have to be careful when you're cutting the designer series paper, that if you've got directional like this, that you cut it the right orientation to go on whichever style. See, this one is directional here, so obviously this one would not work on this, and then this one would not work on here, would it? So you do have to be a little bit careful, and likewise with these trees. And I did make some mistakes when I was prepping them. So let me show you a couple of things about this stamp set. And maybe I can just do some of the stamping, but I won't do the assembly. But I want to point out a couple of things. So let me just grab my white piece here. So I'm gonna, for this one, it's gonna be mint macaron. Now this paper is the Santa's Train designer series paper. So this has this one on the back. And let's see what we got on the back of these other ones. So there's the ho ho ho, so that's part of the train. And this one has the main, that's the train car, and this is the actual train, the stripy one. So I'm going to use those 3 on this one, but I may not do all the assembly. But I wanted to show you, and I wanted to tell you a funny story too. So for the trees, there's 2 stamps. It's a layering stamp set. So, oops, just whacked my phone. Sorry if that jiggled then. Right, so again, I'm gonna, this one I'm gonna have these the opposite way. My scene on the front is gonna be horizontal, and my inside is gonna be vertical, which is the opposite from how it was on this. So for this stamp set, this is a layering set. So you've got like a background tree, which you'll stamp in a light color, and then you've got your detail, which you stamp in a darker color. And there's 3 sizes, so there's 3 pairs, so 1, 2, 3, large, medium, and small. I'm just going to use the large and the medium, and I'm going to do mint macaron and shaded spruce. So I'll put this to one side. So shaded spruce and mint macaron. So you're going to do the background first, and the nice thing is that sometimes, because it's a solid stamp, it doesn't always stamp perfectly, but it doesn't really matter because you're going to cover it up with the background. So let's do this one. Oh, and I didn't punch the corners, but we can do that afterwards. So there's the large one. I'll do the medium. And I'm kind of overlapping it. Oh, look how much lighter that one came out. That's weird. Wonder why. I'm going to do this one a little bit lower. And I got to... But that's okay. So that's going to get covered up. So that's why I say if it doesn't stamp perfectly, don't worry too much. And then I'm going to use shaded spruce for the layer that goes over the top. Now this does not match up exactly. You just kind of have to... Seems like I'm not getting this inked up all the way. There we go. You just have to kind of eyeball it, and so that looks good. And then my medium size one. Like that. And then again, see that little splodge that was missing? It doesn't even show now. Then there's a stamp for, let me close these up. So there's a stamp for the lights, and I'll do that in black. Oh, let me do my greeting first in red, the Christmas greetings. So Christmas greetings has come off his ink block. We could use, so Stampin' Up, if you're listening, I would like to request another block that's like about 2/3 of the size of this for stamps like this, so we don't have to put them diagonally across our blocks. So Christmas greetings. I probably should have done that a bit more to the left. That corner might get chopped off. But that's, so it is best to do your, oh, and while I've got the red out, yeah, definitely best to do your punching first. So on this inside, I have You Light Up the Season. Now that is actually one long stamp. Where's my stamp set? It's actually one long set, but I actually cut it in half, and I can still put it back together if I want, but then I can just stamp them together on the inside, just like that. Now you could ink up half of the stamp or mask half of the stamp and ink up the other half and stamp You Light Up and then clean it off and then mask the other half and stamp the season. But I thought for my class, for people attending my class, it'd be easier if they could just do it in one go. And you can always put them back together again and stamp it as one long stamp. So don't be afraid with your photopolymer stamps to cut them up if you need to. And then let's do the lights. These lights are nice because you can, because it's a long skinny stamp, you can actually bend it to how you like it. So let's just do that. And then we'll colour those in. So, and I have 3, I'll just colour these in and then I'll stop. So I've got Balmy Blue, Real Red, and Daffodil Delight. Oh, and you know what I didn't do on the other card? I put Wink of Stella on the hat and the bunny. So when you make yours, oh, this cap is really stiff. This is Daffodil Delight. Okay, so So I will just show you how the assembly is going to work on this one. If I can find my pieces. Let's see, maybe they're underneath. Nope. Oh, here they are. So this little trees for sale sign, you'll just stamp and fussy cut. And there were dies for this trees for sale stamp set that for a limited time in the Celebration sale earlier on in the year, August and September I think it was, or July and August. So some of you may have the dies, so you could die cut this, but it's very easy. It's just straight lines. It's super easy to cut out. So I just had them cut that out. So I'll show you how this one's going to go together. And then I'll finish the assembly off camera and post pictures later. So this is going to be like this. So we could have this inside again. And then we can have this one here, which I think looks pretty. And the stripes here. And then this will go like this. That's pretty, isn't it? And then that'll go on the inside, of course. So so which color combination do you? I don't think this is pretty. With the mint macaron. So a funny story from my class. So on this one, I used this. It's called puff paint. Let's see, where's my? I used this Snowfall Accents puff paint. So I'm out of focus here. And what you do is you put this on, it's a liquid, a white liquid, and you just put it on where you want it to look like snow. And then you heat it with a heat gun and it puffs up. And I put some here and I put some along here. And I wasn't crazy about how it looked because it picked up the color. I don't know if you can see there, it's picked up the color of the ink underneath. But it is kind of fun to use. But I have this one lady that was at my class this weekend, and she's a real perfectionist, and everything had to be has to be absolutely perfect with her. She has a little tiny speck of ink that's not supposed to be there. She's, you know, she worries about it and focuses on it, and I keep saying no one will notice, no one will notice, but she's like everything has to be just perfect. So when I was showing them this and showing them how to do this, I said, be really careful, don't hold your heat gun too close or for too long, because this will happen. Do you see how I've scorched my paper there? And her friend said, oh, we never noticed. So, and then we all laughed because that's exactly what I'd been saying to her. No one will notice, no one will notice. So I said, see, take that as a lesson, that those little tiny things that you're so aware of, no one's going to notice. So that was funny. So hopefully she won't be just so worried when she has that little extra speck of ink that's not supposed to be there. But anyway, hope you like those. I am going to finish some a little bit early, a little bit shorter than usual. So here are my cards. So Snowman Magic, Trees for Sale. Don't forget to check out the clearance rack and the last chance items. I don't have my host code up there because I forgot to do it until realized just as I was about to go live. But I will go and post that under my on my posts. For some reason Facebook is not letting me go back and edit my post as I used to, so but maybe I can just put it in the comments. But definitely on my YouTube post I will post all the products I used and the dimensions and my host code. So be sure, don't miss out. Be sure to go check out all the bargains that are available at the moment. And I hope you give this a try. And yeah, it's like a fun, just make sure you're careful with your designer series paper. I'll post all the measurements and everything for you later. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to skedaddle and I will see you all next week with another Christmas project. Bye for now, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.